Good Friday morning, Foggers. I hope everybody is doing well. Well, you made it to the end of the week. For most of you that have weekends off, the weekend is always nice regardless. So you made it. You should be proud of yourself, right? Every day that we can move ahead is a positive thing. So again, like I tell you, sometimes I wake up and I just draw a blank, and there's so much to talk about when we're talking about trauma and mental health and our job, right? So we could talk about this forever, but one thing that came to mind was searching, right? And show me, and I'll get to what I mean by that. The common denominator when I run into officers of all seniority and rank is what's going on at work. And again, you ask, well, how does this go to 3AM Fog and where we're at? Well, it goes to mental health. And why? Because it has to do with how we handle our emotions, right? And our feelings. Like I told you, when God made us, he made us perfect. And we came off the assembly line, we were fine. We didn't come off as angry people and bitter. And, we're trying to get better here at 3M Fog as far as our mental health and how we heal from trauma. And when we're on the road, we've always said that, 99% of our issues that are work related come from back at the barn, right? At the station, within ourselves, right? Amongst ourselves. And at the road, really, there's a bad guy. You handle business, you have your training, your tactics, your techniques, your laws and ways of handling things, right? It's when we go back that we have to deal with people that are not happy and they're bitter. And so that's why I want to address that, because I've been having conversations. Last week I had a conversation with a really good friend of mine. He has some sort of rank, in the hierarchy. And he was like, listen, this is it's out of control what's going on. And listen, it was like that when I was there, okay? So this is not something new. But I think, being in the platform and the position that I'm at, it's a good time to address this. So, we always work with that bitter, angry person. And again, we're dealing with so much. Like the person told me a couple of days ago, I have, issues at home. I got the kids going to school. I may have some issues with my spouse, just normal things, nothing that's out of the ordinary, not divorce, just normal stuff, right? The pool's getting green. Little Johnny got an F. Little Debbie has to go to ballet. And then you go to work and you're dealing with a guy who's got his issues. So he's being an asshole. And when he's an asshole to you, now you come home and you're an asshole to your spouse and to your family. It's just a cycle. It's just how it is. But, when I bring up the word search, and I always tell yourself, search yourself, there's a lot of that can go on, right? You can search yourself as, why am I being like that? There are times that I've responded to my son and inside I'm like, fuck. I just did what my father used to do, or I just answered in a way that, and I don't want to do that. I don't. I want to be better for him, for them, and for everybody around me, for you guys, right? This is and for myself. So when I say search yourself, there's this toxicity that goes on at work. Again, if we were on the road and we had problems, right? We get on that radio and we call for backup and we take care of business. We always take care of business, right? So why is it that we get back to the station, to the barn, to headquarters, we treat each other like shit? We're always going to have personality issues. I get that. We're not always all going to get along and love each other. I get that. But there's that bitterness. And you guys that are out there, and I say guys and girls, you guys know what I'm talking about. It's toxicity. It's not just people that don't get along. It's this thing that makes you just want to like fucking eat yourself from the inside out because of all the bullshit, okay? And yeah, we have rank and people take tests. And I remember as nice and as understanding as I wanted to be, and I get messages about that, like, hey, you were good to us and whatever, and I appreciate that. There were days where I didn't want to hear your shit. I didn't. I have my own issues. I didn't want to hear you were coming in late and leaving early. I didn't, because I have my own issues and I get that. But the day that I sat down and took that test, the reason for taking that test, and that's a whole other long story, was to be a buffer between other people that didn't understand how to treat people properly. That's it. I didn't have aspirations to be a supervisor. In fact, I don't think, that's a big deal. And all these people that are negative to people below them, remember, when you retire and you're at Home Depot and you got to see me in the aisle, you got to be like, man, was I an asshole? Or maybe you won't even realize it. But what I'm trying to tell you is rank and where we're at work doesn't mean shit. It just doesn't. It means, you know what it means? It means that you have to be better. And we're not just talking about rank. We're talking about our peers, people that we work amongst, right? Same rank, has nothing to do with rank. I just use that because sometimes that's an issue, and we have people on here that have rank and are great people. They're super nice, and they're known as nice people, and that's a good thing. So, when I say search yourself, like find out why is it that I'm acting the way that I'm acting, and we have to stay focused on what's important. And this morning, driving home, I always talk to God and I listen to certain music, like I told you guys, and I shared with you the other day. Like what do I tell these people? Again, because I love you guys, and I don't want anybody to ever be where I've been, right? So that got me to thinking, and I don't like to use names because there's really no need for that. But there's just to stay focused, and when you're at work and you're dealing with somebody who's difficult, and again, you gotta address it. Talk to them nicely. Don't be disrespectful. Say, hey man, why are you so angry, man? Like what's up? And I know it's difficult, and it's a little taboo, and it's talk about stigma, but we have to start dealing with issues in-house. We can't get past all these things we're trying to do if we're not getting along. And I know that it's cliche and kumbaya and all that shit that you're gonna say, but we gotta stop hammering ourselves at work, and holding ourselves down and stepping on each other, and then think that things are gonna be better. Supervisors and administrators, you're gonna get a better employee if things run great. And I know there's gonna be bad days, and you're gonna have a bad day. That's not what I'm talking about. What I'm talking about is you just being the career asshole. The other day I was told that there are people that I consider, and we all consider, great people, right? And they were supposed to come back to work and mentor other people in a specialized unit, right? And they know who they are. They know who I'm talking about. And these people are the type of people you would want to respond if something was going on with your family. And, an angry person in the department that is probably envious of this person shot that down. And that's pretty shitty, okay? Because if you make the department and a unit and an entity better, you should be welcome back there. And our ego shouldn't be involved in that. So getting back at where I wanted to get was refocusing on what this is about. And this morning, as I was driving and praying and listening to music and wondering what I was going to tell you, what came to mind was one of our guys that we lost, right? And remember, I told you there's been several things in my life that have been very powerful and impactful at that appropriate time. So I'll share this with you because it made me refocus, because I got caught up into that whole everybody talking shit and toxicity about each other at work. And you know what? When I went to this guy's viewing, there was a person in his family that I was introduced to. We knew each other because he would talk to that person, and that person would talk to them about me. And so when I met this person for the first time at the viewing, that person gave me a hug, and they whispered in my ear, "He loved you so much." Okay, and this person died as a result of a lot of addictions and basically an overdose, right? And the relationship I had with this person was very special, was very, very intimate. Him and I spoke about everything. And there was certain things that he didn't release, and ultimately that's the demons that got him. But I was angry at him at the viewing because he didn't stay in the fight. He gave up. And when I say angry, I don't hate him, because I know that the fight is difficult. Just like I tell you guys, and I don't tell you stay in the fight as a cliche or some bullshit line. I'm very open and honest with you guys. It's difficult. Life is difficult. Relationships are difficult. Addictions are horrible, right? Depression, horrible. So, I just wanted to refocus and come back to what 3 a.m. Fog is really about, so we don't forget and get sidetracked. We have to start treating ourselves better at work, because if not, we're not going to get better. So if you're one of those angry people, or if you work with them, search yourself, right? And I put yesterday at the bottom of the post, don't tell me you love me, show me. And when Director Loftus at Roger and Amanda's funeral at the Miami Arena, when he said that, At that time, I kind of like, it was kind of like I felt, no disrespect because I love the guy, that it was like out of context. But I know exactly what he's talking about. Okay, here we are saying I love you and we love each other, and man, I love you, and you know, I responded to you lights and sirens to help you, but yet we get back to the barn and we treat each other like shit. Don't tell me you love me, show me, right? Words, like they say in Spanish, se lo lleva viento. The wind just take words. Words mean nothing without action. So the refocus today as we go into the weekend is to search yourself. That's not just a statement that I say. Search yourself to better yourself, and you're going to be better to other people. Let's stop being assholes to each other. That toxicity kills you just as much as trauma, and that goes hand in hand with mental health. You have to want to be better. You have to be want to be a better person. Okay? Ultimately, number one, for yourself, and then everybody else. Nobody wants to be around you like that. Okay? That anger and that toxicity. So that's the message on Friday, right? And we begin the weekend with hope. The reset button. The sun comes up. We have another opportunity. If you were mean and you were bitter yesterday, search yourself and try to be better today. Just a little bit, right? Just a little bit. And if you have addictions and you need help, reach out. Contact me. I'll forward you to somebody, to a professional. Reach out to somebody. If you're putting your hands on somebody, you got to stop. It's not right. Okay? So with that, you know, I'm going to let you go this weekend. Have fun. Enjoy your time. Do something for yourself. Enjoy time with your family. And just get better. Every day we want to get a little better. That's our goal here. All right? So refocus, and that's what we're working on. Okay? I love you guys. Stay in the fight. Okay? Take the garbage out. Have a good weekend, man. 3 a.m. fog.